Hello, everybody's football here with John Montez, and welcome back again to my YouTube channel. I hope you guys are doing fine. I'm also doing fine, and today we are back again. We are live, and we are just waiting for a forum. We are going to look for how long will this one continue. What is your thought on Arsenal yesterday being crashed out in Champions League, by PSG? It was a massive game yesterday, a massive performance from Arsenal, but PSG had to win that game. PSG was the better team. PSG was a sorry for that. PSG was a massive team yesterday against Arsenal, and they really did well. So, what is your thought into that? That is what you want to dive into this. Make sure smash a like on the video, and by the way, if you know you haven't subscribed yet, I want to just ask you, please take a second or two, click the subscription button. Don't forget to click on that notification bell, so each and every time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify. To our subscribers, I want to say thank you so much for your continuous support. Without you, this channel could not be able to reach where it is. Now, let us just dive directly into this. What do you guys think about this? Yesterday, in my own opinion, if I was to reflect, because now we have to reflect Arsenal from the beginning of the season until now, what has really changed in Arsenal and why Arsenal are in this position. There's one fact that we have to agree, all of us, that Arsenal is not the best team in the land, or Arsenal is still a working progress team, in my own opinion. That is my own view. I still believe that Arsenal is still a working progress team, and it's a team that is keep learning. They keep changing. They keep learning a lot. They keep making a lot of changes. And we all know the most important factor that has cost Arsenal this season, or have cost Arsenal a lot this season, is the lack of a striker. So Arsenal is still developing. I've seen a lot of Arsenal fans calling for the manager to go. Some people think that Arteta cannot deliver. Some people think Arteta cannot perform. But look at the progress. If you look at the progress in genuine form, we know football is a performance it's a performance business, where if the results does not show, you go. But I would not want to see Arteta leaving Arsenal at this moment, because if they leave Arteta to go this now, if Arteta leave at the end of this season, Arsenal will drastically go down. Arsenal will go down and start from afresh. They will have to start from afresh at all angles. They have to start at the beginning. They have to start at the beginning. And I don't think Arsenal fans are ready for that. I don't think Arsenal fans are ready for their team to go back from zero again. I think Arsenal just need a little bit of some strength. They have to strengthen some positions. I don't know how this team is going to, let's say, is going to boost again themselves. I don't know how this team is going to react next season. I don't know how this team is going to connect again next season, because this is a third time disappointment. They have been in top of the league for 3 times. They have finished second 3 times a row. They haven't won any trophies in the last 4 years, or is it 5 years? They haven't won anything. Literally, it's demotivating. It's demotivating in terms of players, and it's understandable. These players are going to get tired. And we all know that the downfall of Arsenal this season, probably, in my own opinion, is the lack of supporting the manager. They didn't support the manager. They didn't invest in the team. The club did not invest in itself. They didn't strengthen the weakness from last season. They didn't strengthen the weakness from the other season. Now, the expected result from Arteta in this season, when they don't back him in the market, how do you go or expect Arsenal? If Arsenal had a striker yesterday game, in my own opinion, Arsenal could have won that game. And something we could be speaking of would be Inter Milan versus Arsenal in the Champions League final. But that one didn't happen. That one literally didn't happen on Arsenal. So, what really changed? Arteta, in my own opinion, what next for Arteta, because that is our title today. What next for Arteta? In my own opinion, they have to back the manager in the market, because Arsenal are just one step away to become one of the greatest teams in England. Arteta is a brilliant manager. They are not going to get any brilliant manager. They can get a manager who comes in and win for them a trophy. one or two and turn them to be like Manchester United, as we all know how Ten Hag did. It doesn't make sense. League matters more than the trophies. That is what I always say. This season, Arsenal have bottled the league because nobody expected Liverpool to be where they are. Nobody expected Liverpool to be the champions. Everybody was expecting Arsenal to win the title this season. But I think Arsenal lost focus. Even the Arsenal players themselves, they knew that this was their season because there was no way Manchester City was going to do it for the 5th time. But they let it slide. Why? Because of course they were attacked with so many injuries, and that one brings to why they didn't back the manager. Of course they were attacked with some key players were leaving, and this one affected their performance during the season. But if Arsenal were prepared enough, I say Arsenal were not prepared enough to handle the league and Champions League. Champions League, Arsenal even was surprised to be where they are. If you can ask me, semi-final, nobody expected Arsenal to be in semi-final. This is a massive result for them. Nobody expected them to put that performance against Real Madrid because we knew the game will be over against Real Madrid. But against PSG, I knew the death was going to. I knew something had to happen. Something was going to change into that team. So, in my own view or in my own analysis, as I see it, for Arsenal next season, they have to make sure, they have no choice but to make sure they get in proper strikers. They have to make sure they do something next season because it's next season or nothing. I think Arteta will be given until the end of next season. I think he still has a contract for more than 3 years at the club, if I'm not wrong. Arteta has to deliver something next season, even if it's a silverware. I know there are some people, I saw some rival fans, Arsenal's rival fans, I'm also one of them, but I saw some people saying that Arsenal are allergic to trophies, which they have to show something next season. Either they have to win something like Carabao, because now it's not about the performance. It's not about the position in the league. It's about the silverware to the players. Something to do to motivate the fans. Something to motivate the players. Something to motivate the culture in the club. Because now the culture is very simple. Arsenal are allergic to trophies. That is now the talk in the press. That is now the talk in the media. That is now the talk in everywhere. Arsenal are allergic to the trophies. Now, Arsenal has to make sure next season, even if they put the entire focus, if they know they're not going to win the league title, of course, that one will be demotivating or will be lowering their standards. Let's say, for example, Arsenal decide to focus to FA, only FA. That one will be lowering their standard based on where Arsenal have built their team. But they have to deliver something next season. Next season is promising a lot. Based on the end of this season, based on how this season has gone, next season is promising a lot, and Arsenal likely will promise a lot because we expect Arsenal to deliver next season, not unless they fumble it. If they want to fumble it 5th time in a row or 4th time in a row, Arteta have taken this club from nothing to become competitors in Champions League semi-final, from nothing to become competitors in the Premier League. They should not let this go next season because this season is not completely over for them. No trophies, trophyless again. 3 seasons consecutively. Playing beautiful football, but sometimes it's not about the football you play. Sometimes it's amount of silverware you win because now Arsenal are just hungry for silverware, not the performance. They have the best team. I can guarantee you that. They have one of the best team in the league. They are one of the best team in the world. If you ask me top 5 best team in the world right now, you cannot miss to mention Arsenal on them, especially this season. This season, they battled it because of injuries. They battled it because they didn't get a striker. They battled it because they didn't have enough players to handle the league. Arsenal were not prepared. That is what I can say. Maybe they are broke, we don't know. They don't have money, maybe. But that one cannot be said on Arsenal based on how their performance this season. Based on how they have performed in the last 3 years or the last 4 years. So something needs to change. The real question is, which trophy can Arsenal win next season? That is the question I want to pose to you guys. Which trophies do you think Arsenal can win next season? I want to put it on the chart. Which trophy do you think Arsenal can win next season? Let me sit down on the comment section. Which trophies do you think Arsenal can win next season? Because let's be honest, Champions League, they were in semi-final, they can make it to the final. If they had a striker, Arsenal were automatically going to make it to the final. If Arsenal had to had bought a striker, they were going to make it to the final. If Arsenal would have strengthened their team, at least add some two key players, they would have make it to the final. They have good defense. They have good midfielders. They have good forward wingers. They have a great manager. They have one of the brilliant managers, young brilliant managers. They should not let this one out. I know some Arsenal fans are angry because of Arteta performance, or because they think that Arteta cannot deliver a trophy for Arsenal. But give Arteta the asset, then leave him to deliver. Leave him to deliver. That is the real ask I'm asking Arsenal fans. Of course, time is not there. Time is not on our side, because sometimes you may be thinking that other rival clubs are winning the titles. Now, there's this conversation that goes on, like, if Manchester United wins if Manchester United wins Europa competition, they are going to have a better season than Arsenal. I tend to disagree with this fact. I don't think Manchester United's position in the league should be determined, should be equivalent to Arsenal performance in the season. Of course, we might end up with a silverware, but I cannot compare Europa competition and winning number 2. Winning number 2 is important more than winning Europa competition. I know it's a silverware, but the way Arsenal have built their team, they cannot focus on winning Europa competition anymore. They can't lower the standard anymore away from winning the league. The only thing that can save Arsenal next season is either to win a league, FA Cup, or Premier League. That is their standard. Their standard now, if we talk about high football or the standards in football, I think next season Arsenal should challenge Premier League. Nothing else. They should challenge Premier League. In my own opinion, I thought the focus for Arsenal this season was to make sure they use available asset, all available asset, and even if it's to sacrifice other games in Champions League or to sacrifice other games in Europa competition, but to win the title this season. But I think they lost focus. They thought that they can do unthinkable by winning Champions League, which I think Arsenal are still far low the standards. Although they beat Real Madrid, but I don't think they're still in that standard of playing football. I don't think that they're in that standard. They were not the better team. I saw Arteta commenting like they are the better team in the league. You are not the better team in the Champions League. You are not the better team in Champions League. Let's say, for example, if Barcelona was to meet this team, look at the Barcelona progress. Look at the Barcelona progress. They brought in a striker. They brought in young talents. That is the strategy for Arsenal. I think that is the strategy. Develop more academy players, bring in them for the first team. Make sure you have a team from the ground who understand each other. Then add them some experienced strikers, like what Barcelona did with the Lewandowski. Just bring an experienced player in there to try to balance the team. That is what Arsenal needs to do now. They have best team, they have young talented team, they have good academy, they have good talents, but they need that one link, which is a striker. Basically, you just need an experienced, proven striker. That one can happen next season if they decide to do it. That one can happen in the next 2 years if they refuse to do it. But next season focus should be winning the title. Next year focus, all the energies and all the money should be on winning the title. Nothing else apart from winning a Premier League title, in my own opinion. I think Arsenal next season, they have to go for that. Nothing else apart from that. I don't know what you guys think about this, but it's really, really massive to see how Arsenal is. In my own opinion, Manchester City are going to wake up next season. Tough league, promising tough league. Chelsea are going to wake up next season. Tough league. Liverpool, I'm not too sure how they're going to perform, especially after winning this one. 50-50. Newcastle are coming. Look at what Forest are doing, surprising people. Look at what Aston Villa are doing, surprising people. Look at Newcastle, surprising people. So, Premier League next season, Manchester United somehow. Manchester United you see now is not going to be the same Manchester United you see next season. The same Tottenham you see now is not likely not to be the same Tottenham you see next season. Something will shift in Premier League. And this one was the chance that Arsenal need to do whatever they have to do. Do whatever it takes to make sure they win Premier League next season. That is the only thing. Forget about FA Cup, forget about Carabao Cup. That one will be lowering your standards. Make sure you have a silverware. Make sure you have Premier League next season, because use whatever everything you have. Even if it's to sacrifice Champions League to focus on the league the way Liverpool did, do it. Do it. Make sure you win the title, because this one was the season and they have bought on it. They have placed the season. Most people are talking about this is the worst Premier League season ever. Why? Look at the gap between Arsenal and Liverpool. Look at that gap. It's huge. Arsenal now are battling for top 5. If you may ask me, they are battling for top 5. And if they are not careful, if they lose, of course, it's impossible to lose them, to lose both, because those two teams, there are some teams which are playing each other in there. But it's really, really embarrassing. Arsenal focused in Champions League more than they could have focused in the Premier League. They could have given Liverpool perfect competition if they decided to focus on Premier League. But they decided to focus on a trophy that they knew exactly they were not going to win, and they're not the best team in it. They thought they're the best team. They thought they can pull out wonders, but that one cannot happen in European competition. This European competition have shown us resilient, how teams are good in transition. Playing beautiful football does not mean you're winning the game. If playing good football, if playing better football, or if playing attractive football was to win a trophy, right now, Barcelona could have made it to the final. If beautiful football, best football was to win trophies, Arsenal right now could be winning the title. Beautiful football does not count if trophies are not there. Beautiful football does not count if silverware is not there. And this one is going to demoralize these players if Arsenal are not careful. We might likely to see some key players leaving Arsenal. Or if Arteta decide to leave, now, Arsenal are going back to square one. Arsenal going back to square one. Nothing else. It's just back to square one. We are going to expect Arsenal to fall if Arteta leaves today, because he has the glue, he has the footprint, he just need the materials to execute. Give Arteta a striker. Since Aubameyang left, tell me lethal Arsenal striker you have ever seen. Since Aubameyang left, no one. And imagine they can manage to compete for titles. They can manage to keep pace with likes of Manchester City, who have invested really, likes of Liverpool, who have really invested to the level they are without a striker. Imagine what they can do with a striker. Imagine what Arteta can do when he's given a proven striker, a well-established striker. He can do wonders. He can do wonders in the Premier League. So it's about Arsenal themselves to decide. Are we going to back Arteta in the market? Because each and every man, whatever manager you're going to bring, whatever decision you decide to make, this team can go nowhere without a striker. That is exactly the missing link that is why Arsenal have lost this one. Because Arsenal haven't lost so many games. Most of their games were draw. Most of the Arsenal games were draw. Most of Arsenal games' performance were only draw. The poor results came on a draw. Injury hit them. Saka went. Odegaard went. That day they lose the focus. There was no replacement for Saka if Saka is down. There's no replacement for Odegaard if Odegaard is down. Look at those key moments. There is no striker. Kai Havertz came as a striker. He got an injury. That is the only striker they had. If Arsenal could have bought Ole Watkins in the January transfer window, right now we could not have finished the league. We could not have finished Champions League. Right now we'll be talking about Arsenal winning Champions League. We have people like Osimhen. Why should Arsenal not go for him? I was just having this discussion earlier today with some of my people. What do you guys think about Nunes? Because Nunes will be available on a loan, if I'm not wrong. I think it will be on a loan. If not loan, I think it will be for sale. I think Nunes can do something really magic in Arsenal team. I think Nunes, but can Liverpool sell to Arsenal? Probably not. Can Liverpool loan him to Arsenal? Probably not. But he's not helping much in Liverpool. But he could do much better in Arsenal, in my own opinion. If you ask me, I think Nunes can do, because I think Arteta is how can I say, is a transformative manager. He tries to get something good out of bad players. He tries to get something good out of these average players. We have seen it the way he did it with Timber. We have seen the way he's doing whatever he's doing with Saliba. We are seeing whatever he did with who Ben White. We are seeing whatever he did with Jesus. Sometimes Jesus cannot. You cannot win a league with Jesus. Jesus is completely injured each and every time. Of course, he's a brilliant player, but you expect Jesus to deliver for you a trophy, or do you expect Jesus to give you 80% of his time on the pitch? He cannot give you 80%. He will literally give you 20, best 20%, but he cannot give you 80%. So why should you keep him? Sell him. I think Arsenal will need to renovate. These fringe players who keeps injured, who are always out of the blues, they are always injured. They should leave and give room for other new sending in to come in. But that one will require a lot of investment. I think the contract has to run out. People like Jesus has to leave. People like Jorginho has to leave. People like Sterling has to leave. I think Sterling was on a loan. All these players has to leave to create room for space. They need to get a winger just in case Saka is injured, is able to step in. They need to get they need to take on Odegaard, if just in case Odegaard is out, somebody is in. I think Party's position is sealed. I think defensively they are good. If Saliba is not there, there is somebody. I think defensively they are good. Forward they need to work on, because I think on the Trossard and Martinelli side is already filtered. They need somebody for Havertz. Is not a striker. Havertz is not a number 9. Havertz is more of a 10. I think Havertz can do whatever Odegaard is doing right now. If you ask him to do it, he can do it. So they need a proper striker next season. That is what Arsenal really need, and that is what has cost Arsenal this season, in my own opinion. That is exactly what has cost them. So change need to happen. The transfer window will be important, and next season is promising. It's really, really promising. We are going to have the next, I think the best season will come next season. And we also expect to see more Premier League club qualify for Champions League next season, especially after today. This time round, they've given us 5 slots. I don't know how we are going to. I don't know how Premier League clubs are going to perform in the Champions League next season, but I hope we had a better performance next season. Premier League is competitive and it's very quick. And Arteta has now 3 consecutive experience of losing this one in a row and being heated in Champions League semi-final. It's a learning lesson for him. He has never been in this position. He don't know what to do. Somebody told me that Arsenal doesn't know what to do up to the moment they reached in semi-final. They still didn't know what to do. It was like you go on a party. This is very funny. You go on a party, you enter the room, then you start asking, where is the how do you always do this? It's basic. It's simple as that. That is why Arsenal lose. Experience matters, but now they have gotten their first experience. I know next season they're not going to be the same Arsenal. They are going to be totally different Arsenal, totally composed, totally how can I say it? Totally composed Arsenal team, totally different team, a good team with experience, a good team on how to win something. Of course, they need silverware to have that experience. If they could have lost it to the final, it could not be as painful as how they have lost it in the semis. If Arsenal was to lose that Champions League game against Inter Milan, it could have felt a little bit better, something to be proud of, something like, oh, the best team won it because we were second best team. But semi-final is not good enough for them. But the standard is set. Their standard is set. Arsenal have set a standard that they cannot come below it. If they come below it, that one will be a downgrade on Arsenal. So it's something we have to look up to next season, how Arsenal is going to perform, how Arsenal is going to do their things next season, how Arsenal is going to react to this setback, because this is more of a setback compared to last season. Because I look at the gap between Arsenal and Liverpool and I'm like, really? And they're playing Liverpool. I think I will do that analysis tomorrow if I have time. I'll do that critical analysis about Liverpool versus Arsenal tomorrow. But focus. Next season is a massive focus for Arsenal. And in my own opinion, if I was to advise Arteta, is focus on Premier League alone. Just leave the outside noise, leave the Gandawala's trophies like FA, leave the average trophies like Carabao, leave Champions League. Focus on Premier League to deliver. If that doesn't happen next season, I think There is no any validation that Arteta need to be sacked if he doesn't win anything next season, if he doesn't win Premier League, because you've already set the standard. You cannot go below standard. That standard is either you win FA Carabao or be number 2 again. You cannot drop to number 3. But I'm promising you, next season, Arsenal, if they're not careful, if they don't trade well, they might even end up fourth, because Man City is coming. Man City is not going to just be quiet there. That one is going to be their last last game, last season in Premier League. Liverpool are going to come in. They have to defend it. They are going to invest. They have money to invest. Chelsea, you see how Chelsea is dangerous. You just miss some link, some small things, small aspect. Chelsea are going to turn up. Newcastle, Aston Villa. So Premier League is promising to be tougher next season. Look at how Nini is playing. What is Crystal Palace is playing. And imagine with Arsenal, they also have how many derbies? Almost like 6 derbies, which they have to play. All these teams are looking on Arsenal to beat them. So Arsenal have a tougher season next season than any person in the league. They have a tougher season next season. So that is why I would advise that focus on the league, but at least get a trophy next season. Now the conversation of Arsenal is not about the performance. The conversation of Arsenal is about trophies. That is where the conversation is. I don't know what you guys think about this. I think my time is running out. This video was supposed to be 30 minutes. So make sure to smash a like on the video, by the way. And if you know you haven't subscribed yet, please click that subscription button. Don't forget to turn on that notification bell, so each and every time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to our subscribers, I want to say thank you so much for your continued support. Without you, this channel could not be able to reach where it is. We are going to watch Manchester United versus Athletic Club. I did a preview about that one in my last video. You can check it before the game. Massive game coming in. I've just seen how Ten Hag have gone into it. Not Ten Hag, sorry. Amorim have gone into it. I think he's going for goals again. He doesn't give up. He's not giving it defensively. But it's a massive game. We are watching to see how Manchester United, if Manchester United can make it to the final, because we know we are 3-0 ahead. Something can happen with Manchester United sometimes. You never know. But I hope and I believe it's not going to change anything. We are already in the final. We would like to see Tottenham versus Manchester United in the final. Bodo in the final. I don't know what you guys think about this. Smash a like on the video. Click the subscription button. Don't forget to turn on that notification bell, so each and every time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. Let me see down in the comment section. I think I still have 2 more minutes. If I'm not wrong, I still have 2 more minutes. Now, something also I'd like you to talk about in these 2 minutes is De Bruyne leaving Manchester City to Napoli. We know this is the last season for De Bruyne. He already announced it, and it's going to Napoli. What do you guys think about that? It's a massive move. Something also I read on TalkSport, this is regarded to Manchester City, was Grealish going also to Napoli. What is your thought into that? I think Grealish is investment-wise, I don't think he added more value in Manchester City. Manchester City could have still won 4 Premier League in a row without Grealish. But sometimes he was an asset. But if Grealish looked to leave, it will be important for him to try something else somewhere. Of course, he has the titles here. He has World Champions League. He has Premier League. He has achieved it in Manchester City. From that upgrade from Aston Villa, it's an upgrade from Aston Villa to Manchester City, and to win those trophies on his belt. So I think he can do a massive work at Napoli. So 2 transfer updates that I've just given you now is that Grealish update to Napoli. That is something that I think I will discuss tomorrow. If I'm not wrong, I will discuss it tomorrow. Also on Premier League prediction, tomorrow I'm coming with Premier League game week 26. Massive interesting game. Newcastle versus Chelsea, massive game. Liverpool versus Arsenal, massive game. Arsenal now total focus in Premier League and to make sure they have a Champions League slot by the end of the season. Let me see down on the comment section what you guys think. Smash a like on the video. Don't forget to click on that subscription button. Don't forget to click on that notification bell. Each and every time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. To my subscribers, I want to say thank you so much for your continuous support. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your thank you so much for joining us tonight. I really appreciate it. Until we do the next one, see you tomorrow. Bye bye.